Good afternoon, everyone. Um, I want to, okay, thank you. I want to acknowledge and thank the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu, and also the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, for sponsoring this event. I've been sitting down here and looking at the impact that we can make in Nigeria, and of course, Lagos leading the pack. Please allow me to stand on all existing protocol. It's been an exciting being here today, and I also want to thank the organizers of the Lagos Art of Technology for inviting me. You know, coming after Governor's executive speech and all the celebration, I really am also energized to share my perspective on what we're discussing today. So when I received the speaker briefing and I saw leveraging digital transformation in catalyzing African startup growth, I was thinking that it's going to be about Lagos State, but I saw Africa. That means Lagos State is not only thinking about impact that we can make within the state, but in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. That means Lagos State is an inclusive state. And of course, for me, it's also a home for everyone. So thank you, Lagos State, for not just focusing on Lagos, but thinking about the impact that we can make in Nigeria as a whole. There are a couple of questions that I'm supposed to speak to. But before I go into that, I want to put some things in perspective, especially in Africa. I know a lot of us know about that, but I think it's very important for the context of the discussion this morning. Today, Africa is the fastest growing in terms of population. Africa is the fastest growing in terms of GDP. And research has shown that Africa will continue to grow, and 10 out of African countries is actually part of the fastest growing countries in the world. And based on PwC reports, Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt will continue to be part of that 6 countries into 2023. Also based on research, Africa will be home to about a quarter of the world population by 2050. There is also a school of thought that says that about 3 out of every 5 persons walking on the face of planet Earth will be from Africa. And that means we are actually going to be supplying the world labor force in the next few years and to come. And based on the growth projection, that is actually what we're going to be doing for a foreseeable future, because Africa is home to the youngest population all over the world. So that means we have a huge opportunity. We are talking about growth of internet penetration in Africa, and especially in Nigeria. And I think the minister, Honorable Minister Dr. Issa Patami, actually alluded to a lot of progress that we have made in that space. Today, Nigeria's internet penetration is about 50%. And we've come a long way. And I think we need to give ourselves a round of applause for that. But of course, there is still a lot to be done, because if you look at internet penetration today, it's high for us at 50%. But compared to advanced countries like Europe, UK, that has about 98% internet penetration, we are still lagging behind. But of course, we need to celebrate our success, and I think is that important. That's why I'm super grateful for the opportunity that this forum provides for all of us, not only to dialogue about the impacts of technology in Africa and what we need to do, but also come up with tangible outcomes and execute on them so that Africa will not only leverage the potential that we have to leapfrog in terms of, economic advancement, but also to dictate the pace of technology innovation in the world. And I believe we are on that journey. So how can we keep pace of the growth in mobile connectivity technology penetration? We must drive inclusive economic growth. And what does that mean for us? Today, we're celebrating the impact of technology advancement in Lagos. We're talking about, a lot of innovators that have come out today, but we also need to think about the brains that are in remote areas of Nigeria that could potentially impact the innovative experience that we have today, that are currently disadvantaged because they do not have access to connectivity. We also need to think about women that are also disadvantaged. And I think I really love the fact that the Honorable Governor, the Excellency picked this up when he said we need more women. And it's time for women to really come into technology because our opportunity is here. A lot of organizations are actually focusing on that. But it's not just about the focus, but how do we get the fundamental rights? And we need to talk about that. We also need to think about people with disability, that if you give them a laptop, they are okay to sit down to write codes, to build technology that can help us that we are currently not empowering. So those are the things that we need to talk about. We also need to think about commitment to build trust in technology. And this is what Microsoft is really very particular about, because we're not just talking about building trust in technology for technology, but how it is used, talking about cybersecurity, talking about, how people use technology, AI for common good. And we also need to think about, we need to think about unequivocally support fundamental of human rights. Human rights to be able to participate in this digital economy that has come upon us. Now, moving to the next conversation. Private sector role in bringing help to Africa, to help Africa to digitize or to achieve digital transformation. What does this mean for us in Africa? One is, I've mentioned the case for connectivity. And that means we need to boost connectivity to address coverage gap and increase that digital access by citizens. Earlier on, I mentioned that, but I also want to back it up with data. Based on the white paper that Microsoft did in Nigeria, we realized that people in the city have 27% more chances to connectivity than any person in the remote area. What does this also tell us? There has been a lot of investment in fiber, in access to internet in the country. And Governor did mention that Lagos State is really leading the effort in making sure that we have fiber coverage across Nigeria, talking about fast mile. But we all know that that is very helpful. But we need to accelerate the pace of accessibility of connectivity to people. That means we should also be thinking about leveraging wireless connectivity, especially in remote areas where we are currently underserving right now. And what Microsoft is doing, based on the announcement we made with the federal government last May, we are trying to address key areas, which is one, connectivity. Secondly, is also skilling, which I'll also talk about, as well as digital transformation. How can we quickly boost connectivity? We can leverage unutilized TV white space. So through Microsoft Airband projects, we have earmarked 6 locations in Nigeria that we're going to be providing quick and affordable internet access to, so that those people in those remote locations can also have access to trainings. And I spoke about the potential that we have in Africa in terms of our people, in terms of the young population. This will help us to leapfrog our ability to drive innovation. But people need to know. They need to know how to leverage technology in a more productive way. We speak about, people using technology for bad things, especially youth, and we've seen a lot of, noise around Nigeria about leveraging technology for wrong reasons. But if people are not exposed to the right learning, they are left with no option but to learn the wrong way. And I'm not advocating for wrong behaviors, but we also need to look at things in perspective. We need to be very deliberate about skilling. We need to make sure that this is at the core of conversation at every level. As part of what Microsoft is doing as the Digital Nigeria Initiative, we made announcements done by our President Brad Smith in collaboration with the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, and also a joint announcement with the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Shibajo, on 3rd May, to skill 5 million youths in Nigeria, leveraging both blended online and in-person training. And we've started that, but we know that this is not a problem that we can tackle on our own. That's why collaboration with government, with private stakeholders is very important. We need more partnership with the states to provide those centers that we can actually go to provide those skilling. So please, another round of applause to Lagos State for the program that they are launching to host thousands of startup ecosystem in Yaba. So that's really great, and we want more of that across Nigeria. The other area that we're also thinking about is digital transformation. But without it, when we have corruption, it's very difficult to digitally transform. And that's why Microsoft is also focusing on partnering with Nigeria to leverage technology to tackle corruption. And also, another area that we think is also important is our cultural heritage. Technology can also play a major role in that regard, looking at how do we preserve our languages across Nigeria. How do we leverage technology to make sure that our cultural heritage is not lost? And we're partnering with Nigeria government to also bring that to life. And another area that we also want to look at here is ways technology can help to speed up Africa's economic growth. Now, I want to pause a little bit on that. Africa, we are blessed with great natural resources. We are blessed with people, talented people. And I'm really proud to be a Nigerian, right? Because when we hear about people making waves across the globe, there is no how Nigerians' name will not be mentioned. This is something that we can really harvest. We have oil, and oil has been the major area of focus for us. Yes, technology is contributing to our GDP, but we can also leverage technology to continue to boost other sectors in our society. How can we leverage advanced AI, data analytics, drones, to make sure that we are really driving innovation in our oil sector? We're talking about very soon, Nigeria will soon be home to the largest refinery in the world. Technology will help us to really drive innovation in that sector that will empower all of us. So we need to think about that. We need to think about technology in terms of driving agricultural innovation. So when we're thinking about startups ecosystem, where are the agrotech? Fintech, we've been making a lot of waves in Nigeria, and I think we need to give some round of applause to the people powering that as well. But of course, we need to do more in that area. Agrotech, health, education. We are doing so much. So now taking back to, women empowerment, especially in technology, I really celebrate all the children from the secondary school that won the award and the grant today. Very good job. But I looked at all of them. They are all boys. I'm happy, right? But we need to catch them young. We have in Nigeria, for example, 50% of our population are female, but less than 20% is in technology space. Please pardon me, a lot of people said I talked a lot about women empowerment, but I don't want us to miss out the opportunity that women can actually add into technical innovation. So we need to catch them young. We don't have to wait till they get to university before they get exposed to STEM, but we need to provide reinvention of our education system so that everyone, including girls, can have access to technology, love it from childhood, so they have opportunity to make a choice based on their interest. And I think we also need to look at it. What is Microsoft doing in this space as well? We have partnered with one of our NGO partners, Tech for Dev, to skill 5 million women across Africa, including Nigeria. And I really encourage everyone here, not only female. You are a man here, you have brothers, you have sisters, you have wives. Encourage them to check on that and see how they can leverage that to grow their technical skills. Because I say, if anyone is not in technology today, they're actually missing out on the opportunities that technology provides to help us to grow our ecosystem. So that is an area that we're working on. And secondly is also the fact that you don't have technical background does not mean you can be in technology. Everyone can actually contribute to technology advancement in Nigeria. And one of the things that we also do is a LEAP program that we launch when we launch our African Development Center in Nigeria. What does LEAP do? It provides avenue for anyone, but we focused initially on female, that did not have technical background, that want to venture into career in IT. And between that, with the launch last year and now, we've had close to 60 people that have been transitioned to technology, and they are all gainfully employed today. So there's a lot of opportunities that we can work around there. So going back to how can Africa take up economic growth leveraging technology? I spoke about oil, I spoke about agriculture, I spoke about the fact that we can leverage technology in innovating our health system, making sure that people, and I think COVID really helped us in a way, because today we are talking about telemedicine. We're talking about, people can stay in their home and have a remote session with doctor. Not only one, they can take second opinion, third opinion, depending on how they want to do that. And we are looking at also innovation to help us in sustainability. Today, we are all talking about preserving our earth. How can we work together in this space? Now, Microsoft have a grant for innovation in area of accessibility as well. So, and we are partnering with a co-innovation center to see how we can bring about innovation in this space from Africa, because Microsoft believes that Africa is home to innovation because of our young population. But to take on digital transformation is not something that will just happen. It has to be structured. That's why Microsoft provided the IDEA framework. IDEA means inspire, design, empower, and activate. What are we talking about when we talk about inspire? We're talking about people to come together, bring your team together, ideate on what is possible by leveraging technology. Think through what is required in your business, or in the state we have, and Lagos State have actually started that journey with the master plan initiative for the state. And after this phase, we also need to think about how to design what we bring about to help us to achieve all the great ideas that we have. Then we come to the phase of empower. This is where the execution happens, and inspire is where we also come together to continue to, leverage this important area to grow. And this framework is scalable across organization, government, and whether organization, whether big or small. And the fourth area is how to manage technological disruption in Africa sector to enable constant growth, because that is where we need to be. Our population is growing, so our ability to leverage digital transformation should also be consistently growing in that manner. Enable widespread connectivity. This is really important, and I cannot overemphasize that, because when a couple of people are disenfranchised, then we are missing out on the opportunity to leverage technology to do that. And let us look at skilling, digital ready workforce. And when we talk about skilling, we shouldn't limit it to only young people alone. COVID came, disrupted the way we work, play, do events. That means there are some work that will never come back, because today a lot of work had changed as a result of COVID. Some of those work will never come back. That means organizations need to think about reskilling the people within their ecosystem so that we do not unintentionally increase the unemployment rate across our continent, especially in Nigeria. What is Microsoft doing in this area? We're also partnering with governments and organizations to do what we call enterprise skilling initiative, to look at how can we train people to be retrained to be able to take on all the available, in-demand jobs across our ecosystem. And we need to also think about tooling to empower these people to be able to do that. For example, we have teachers that are providing knowledge to our students. We've trained them. We need to equip them with tools so that they can also pass on those knowledge to students. The same goes in the government. The same goes in every other industry across the world. So these are different ways that we need to think about. We don't need to do everything. Just focus on, how do we improve on the connectivity rate that we have? How do we really make sure that we have digital ready workforce? Because if we don't, that means inadvertently we are creating unemployment, because technology will continue to affect the way we do things in the world. And we have seen that most of the in-demand roles are technology related. So issue of digital skilling is paramount, and we need to focus a lot of attention on that. And I did also mention the issue of upskilling of people that have been affected, especially that have lost their job as a result of COVID. If we focus on all these three key pillars, there is no way we will not have more innovation coming out. Because for these young folks, for example, that came up here today to be awarded for their work, imagine if Lagos State did not have such initiative. That means those ideas, we sit with them and they will not have opportunity to bring it out. Today, I'm sure they are motivated. I'm sure they are inspired to continue to do more. And I can't wait to see the level of impact that their innovation will make on the society. So before I close, once again, thank you, Lagos State. Thank you, Eco Innovation, for this laudable innovation program to help us to look at ways that we can work together as government, as private sector, and everyone within the ecosystem to make sure that we are leveraging our power, which is the brains and the young folks, as well as all the great ideas that is inherent in Nigeria for our common good. Thank you everyone for listening to me, and I wish you all more enjoyable events. Thank you.